I speak again with Delta Chief Executive Ed Bastian about the steps he is taking to address racial inequity and, well, inequality at large within the company. Let's take a listen.
I think our eyes have been opened wider than ever before. The pandemic has put us in a vulnerable spot in many ways. It's quieted us. It's allowed us to see and hear things that we were too busy in the past potentially to hear. Those are the voices, people asking for help, the inequity, the inequality, the challenges that the underprivileged in today's society face, both here in our city, Atlanta, but around the U.S. and around the world, have never been more obvious. How people have had to deal with the pandemic, it's widened that gap. You know, the folks that couldn't take care of themselves, that needed to, that had to get out and work, as compared to the privileged who could bunker away in their homes and be served by others to keep them safe. There's a lot in this time. When you think about, earlier this summer, the horrific tragedy with the killing of George Floyd, how that sparked just a massive outrage. I've asked people, if that happened a year ago, would we have been as outraged? And I'm not sure we would have, honestly. I think we're much more in tune to each other and each other's needs right now. And as a result, as a business leader, to me, it's provided a spark and a fire to make certain we don't forget, we don't lose this moment, and we take advantage of this moment. And we're working within the company to do that, reaching out particularly to our African American, our Black community, who, when you look into the numbers, you can see they really haven't had the same level of opportunity for whatever reason in our own company, in our own city, in our own country. And as leaders, and I take it very personally because these are family members of mine, I consider what I have to do to lift them up and raise the bar for everyone to have a better, more just society. So it's something I take very personally, and every single day I'm involved in a dialogue of some nature, to better understand, to better appreciate, to better take action on their behalf. And it's raising the bar for all of us to be better.
You've taken it personally, and you are, of course, a white man of privilege, well paid. How have you taken steps to listen, really listen? Can you give us examples of how you've reached out to those that you've worked with?
Sure, many different ways. Just last night, for example, we've got an employee group, a resource group that we call BOLD, and that's our Black Employee Resource Group, and it's just for our Black employees to kind of all connect with each other and identify with each other and see what they can do to help find areas of particular interest. I've told them, and this existed long before the events of this year occurred. I've reached out to them. I told them they're my advisory group. So there's about a dozen of them. I spend time with them every few weeks for a couple of hours just listening to them. And they're frontline employees from every walk within Delta, from pilot to a flight attendant to airport agents, et cetera, in understanding. And so kind of taking that gap from the CEO right to the frontline employee and having honest dialogue. And I've told them they're my advisory committee. I need to hear from them. And it was initially, they didn't know if they could trust me or trust us. It was odd. They've never been felt like that. And we've now gotten to the point where it's a great opportunity. I've told them last night, it's one of the meetings I most look forward to in the week because it's refreshing, and they're seeing the confidence that they can take the steps necessary to bring to me what they need to do a better job. We all need to do a better job around racial equity. So that's one thing. We've had leaders come in across our community, come in and speak to our employees, from Bernice King, Dr. King's daughter, to Brian Stevenson and others, our mayor here, and I, speaking to our employees, doing video town halls with them across thousands, if not tens of thousands of our employees, talking about the issues, just stopping and pausing and reflecting. It's work we're doing in our community. It's accountability we're taking inside our company to ensure that our hiring slates are free of bias and systemic racism and the things that we haven't paid the level of attention to that we need now to take. So it's impacting every part of this company. We're going to get through the pandemic. We're going to get to the other side of it. If we don't get to the other side of systemic racism, though, this will be a failure.